channel 3D Amuser. This is my new tutorial Mech bus series. So in this series, what we're gonna do, we're gonna create a Mech bus from scratch. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna sculpt in Zbrush and model some parts in Maya and render it out in Keyshot or Maya. So I'm gonna show approach both ways, one to render in Maya as well as in Keyshot. Keyshot is really faster, but we can also some shading in Maya as well. Before I get started, I'm going to show you some of my inspirations. So these are some of the painting I did earlier in the past. So these are like some of my inspirations. You know, it's not like super awesome, but like I want to get my ideas. I want to get inspired. I want to get like all those ideas from this Mech. So these are like some of my works I did like in the past. So I'm going to use this as my like a reference as well as my inspiration, and I also did some Mech bust earlier. So this is my like a full-on Mech I did, and this is another one like a Mech bust, and this is another one, and this is one of my Gumroad tutorial I did. So I'm going to do a Mech burst, not based on this idea. It's like something, you know, better than this, and I want to make it really slick. And my inspiration is from this jet Blackbird. This is really fast Blackbird jet. You know, it's widely used in like wars, and this is my inspiration as well. So we're gonna have some kind of like we're gonna steal ideas from this reference as well. So before to get started, so whenever I do Mech bus, so I usually start with ZBrush because it's easy to iterate ideas and do your blocking really faster. So what I did here was like I grabbed this tool from here. So if you go to Lightbox, and if you go to tools, and there is some called Nuke human scale. So to add a human scale, so I just grabbed it in and I deleted all his face because we're going to do a Mech bus. We're not going to do the whole body. And so the tool also comes with the skull as well. So I'm going to I see like some of the works, you know, in ArtStation. I really inspired, like there are mechs with the skull in it, so we're gonna do something with the skull in it. And I also grabbed a skull to match this skull because I want to match the human scale. So this is the skull I bought from 3D Scan Store. So you could see it has all those details. So when we sculpt and once we add details, it's going to show up really good in the render. So that's my idea, but it's kind of like an iris, but I'm not worried about it because I want to put as much as details in here as well. So this is going to use as a reference as well for us. So from here, what I'm going to do is let add the sculpt here. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to turn him as a dynamesh. So if you press X, it's going to give a transform. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to paint out all this stuff. Also, you could go to solo mode, not solo mode. You could go to transparency so you could see. So I'm going to go to move brush. I'm changing my size and just pull it out of it. So to see how my guy looks like. So there you go. He kind of looks creepy now. He has a tough jaw as well. So I'm gonna keep on going away my skull. So I'm using my skull as a reference. So that's what I'm trying to do. So now if you see, we have a decent shape. So let's add like that. So we're gonna have certain part of skull showing up, and we could, or else we could hide the skull as well. But you know what? It will be pretty cool to show the skull, the back part. So let's add the back part shown. So there you go. So we could. I'm gonna duplicate this mesh to have as a reference. So I'm just gonna smooth a little bit. So now we could change this guy to Dynamesh. In order to change this guy to a Dynamesh, this mesh to Dynamesh, you go to geometry, Dynamesh. I'm gonna start with the 200. So I'm gonna Create data mesh. So now we have a mesh here. So now I could go and fill the shape. So now we have a full shape, and now we could go and fix a lot of stuff. When you're watching this video, make sure you have a basic knowledge in Zbrush. If you don't know Zbrush basic interface, maybe I'll make a video in future, so you guys can look at the video first, then come back here. So I'm just blocking in some shape. I'm just adding whatever comes to my mind. I'm not worried about the shape that much now. So I want a pretty badass shape. That's what I wanted. That's what I'm. That's what I'm up to now. So it's kind of like this is his stuff. Now it kind of looks like Spider-Man. Let's see what else we could do. Make them really stand out. Let's go to Move Brush. I usually use Move Elastic as well, because this moves really smoothly as well. So if you see, actually that kind of looks like sci-fi too, and maybe it's too much. So what I want to do, let's keep on blocking it. Let's see how the shape holds up. So now let's see. So this is another shape. Sometimes what I do, I usually keep on sculpting really fast. So once I do a lot of variations. So once I'm happy with the shape, I sculpt from there. And I'm kind of like trying to make this shape to stand out a little bit better. So I'm gonna say transparency. I'm gonna say just pull it in. This shape is kind of odd. It doesn't look epic. But now the sides, okay, it kind of looks like a creature, but that's what I wanted. I was having like a plain shape. That works. So now what we can do, we can add some volume. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to say dim in starter brush and increase the intensity. I'm going to see what I could do with this. So this gives like harder edges in my geo. Let's add some shape. Okay, let's break the surface a little bit further. Let's see. Okay, so now you could make 4 shapes merging into one. And this shape ends here. So now if you see, I'm not worried about anything. I'm just like blocking some shapes. That's where I'm up to. I'm using Alt to bump it up, and you could also use trim dynamic to or clay build. Okay, there you go. It's getting there. I'm kind of getting some cool shapes now, so I'm kind of happy with that. Let's sculpt something at the back as well. So at the back, we're gonna let's leave it transparent. So it's kind of like showing his skull at the back, and I'm gonna say. So I wanna show his jaw prominent. So keep on sculpting it there. So it kind of looks good in 3/4 view, but it doesn't look good on in the front view. So I'm not happy about it. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try to fix it. How about going? You can also use snake hook. That's a really good tool too. So the front, it doesn't look badass from the front. So let's play with shape in the front as well. So sometimes it takes some time, and take your time because you can block, then you can go from there to make whatever you want. So actually that's kind of a pretty cool shape. Since it's going in, let's do that. Let's see if that works. Actually, it looks pretty cool from this side. Nice. I kind of like it because it's kind of like following the skull shape. Let's see the skull shape. Okay, let's make this a different shape. So now I'm just playing with the shapes to separate the planes. So now if you see, we got something, right? Like it looks pretty cool, but still I'm kind of like playing with the shape. I don't know which concept artist I was listening to. You were saying like, don't be happy with your shapes really fast. Just play with it, do a lot of variations, and you'll get a really good design at the end. So if you see, I'm also one of my sculpting instructor, he also said that one time, you have to keep on sculpting from all different angles. Don't focus on one angle because you're gonna have a lot of hard time after fixing it. I kind of like that. We could also have some kind of like a glass thingy, like a glass container, like a glass piece on top of it. So that will look pretty cool. But I want to hide this skull. Okay, let's see how this looks like. Let's see, how about that? Nice. So if you see, I literally got some shapes, and you see, like, we are getting somewhere from this. Okay, let's go Damien Standard brush again, and let's see what we could get from it. So this is a different plane, and this is a different plane, and this is a different plane as well. So let's separate these two pieces, and we could also do this as well. So these two are separate pieces as well. I'm also using a concept called layer caking. Anthony Jones talks about it a lot. So it's about like big shapes, small shapes. You have a big shape, then you have a small shape in it, and you also have like a lot of tiny details in it. So let's see. Yeah, this is gonna have a lot of details, guys. Like I'm telling you, actually, I kind of like the. I'm kind of like where it's going now. So for the neck area, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add like a lot of. I'm gonna make like a really organic, but I'm gonna have like a lot of wires lot of wires in it. So we know that we could add a lot of details through wires. If you see concepts from a lot of guys nowadays, they just put like tons and tons of wires in it. So why not, like steal the good ideas and leave the bad ideas. That's it. That's a concept. And improvise it. So you're literally not copying from them, but you're just getting inspired from it as well. And also, so the wires go here, here, and here. Okay, let's go like a spine going on them, and there is something attached to it. Um, so from here, we could break something further as well. So let's see, there's some kind of wires here, some kind of connection to our deltoid. So this is deltoid, the shoulder part, one of my favorite part to work out. Okay, there you go. I'm thinking what to add, like torso wise, what we could do. You know what, let's what I'm gonna do, let's make like a hole, like this is going to be, there's some kind of like missionary parts here, because I recently saw a concept, I was really inspired by it. It's kind of like what we could do is there's going to be a hole, and this should be connected here as well. So it's kind of like a big hole in the middle, and this connects here, and this connects here. Cool. So there's nothing inside. We could like put some tons and tons of wires in it. This is just a blockout, so I'm not worried about it. I'm not like super crazy about like what's going on there. But there you go. We got like a good amount of details from sculpting in the lower subdivisions. We also got some concept designs. This is not the end all be all. We could also refine as we go. So if I see from the front, what I could do is, yeah, I could do this, like make it a little bit organic, so make it a little bit epic as well. So if you see from the side, you kind of like have this jaw, like a sharp jaw. So sharp jaw means like he's like really masculine, and he's like really strong, and he's aggressive as well. And okay, let's try to fix the bottom area as well. Maybe we can have like something transparent here, because we're gonna be sculpting from the top. But if you see from the front, it kind of looked from the side, it kind of looked pretty good. But if you see in the front, it kind of looks like I didn't like it. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna fix it. So I want the whole shape to have a triangle shape, like everything going in. Because what's my thinking was to open, there should be like an opening here. This top part going to be opening, and so we could see the skull inside. Like if we go to transparent view, and let's see goes. So I want to see the skull. So the opening should be from here somewhere, so it opens so we can see the skull inside. So that's my whole point, having a skull inside. And so the body is kind of like a little bit tiny, and I don't also like this parts here as well. So I'm not going to spend that much time on it. I really like the side view. If you see, the silhouette is pretty awesome. Sometimes you can check the silhouette by like that, it helps. And you can go to flat color. Where's the flat color? So if you see, the silhouette looks pretty good on the side. I kind of like the silhouette from the side, but from the front, I'm not happy about it. So this is how you could check the silhouette. This is another idea, like some people use it to fix their shapes. No, that looks like crazy. I don't like that. And maybe you could like do like all kind of like stuff to fix it. Maybe like that. See, now I added like a little bit of shape there, and let's do something like that. So now if I go back and see my shape, and it looks pretty good. I kind of like it. So let's see without the skull. Nice. It looks really basic, but I'm gonna make his body a little bit bigger because he kind of looks like he's like a skinny person. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make a little bit big. So he just beefed up. So he kind of like have a little bit of mass, and he has like a wide shoulders. Oh, the delta is 2, the proportions are off now. There you go. So now he kind of looks like he is kind of like some jacked guy. So that's what I want him really strong. So that's my idea. And now what we could do is I always have a duplicate. So what I'm gonna duplicate again. If you want, you can rename it as well to make it faster. So I'm gonna call him Mech Black. That's my name I give him for him. So what I'm gonna do is say Mech Black. Dynamish 1. So if I want to change something, I could literally go on as a backup. So now let's go to this guy. I'm gonna hide everything else. So now I'm going to Dynamish. I'm gonna say 400, and I'm gonna, there you go. So now we have a lot of volume to work with it now. So now we could go and fix it really good. So I'm gonna call it a day. This part, the first part is called blocking, and we learned some of the techniques. So we started from the tool what we had in Zbrush. Then I add like skull as my reference because the skull going to be visible in our mech bust. And till then, look for the next chapter, and I'll have a lot of ideas as well as and I'll show everything and different techniques to block these guys out, and we can make them really alive. Thanks for watching, guys, and if you really like this video, please like, subscribe, and comment below. And if you have any suggestions or anything, and if you have any questions, please write me at 3damuser@gmail.com, and I'll happy to help you guys as well. So until then, I'll see you in the next tutorial, guys. Have a great day.